Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Shane McRetro video, and can I just say it is wonderful to be back. I have been out of the game now for quite some time, but this past Monday I've decided to pull out my Set 5.24 box and do some things with it. And what did I do? Well, not too much actually. What I'd actually done for this is I'd installed a, well, let's have a look. Why am I telling you? So I hadn't actually hooked this up to a computer, but I realized that my computer is taking up quite a bit of space in my life, so I was kind of hoping to get rid of it. And I probably will. It's got the Voodoo 5 in there, I think. Yeah. Anyway, let's have a quick peek in here. So this is all on, so don't let me touch any high voltage things. Really need to get a tripod. So in here we've got this board, which replaces this hard drive that came out of the device. So it was a Seagate, and it's very clunky. So that was imaged over SCSI 50 pin, and it's about, well, there's the model number. Just got to look the model number up. It's probably about 4 gigabytes, I'd say. Seems to be the maximum hardware limit anyway. So I've got a little micro SD in there. Over to the right there. And this is a, I think it's a SCSI 2 SD card. Anyway, it's got a 3D printed bracket in there, and that was probably the most difficult part to attach. I've ended up using a bolt on this side. But essentially that replaces the hard drive over here, which had something like, where is it? A copy of World Series Baseball 2K2. So that's kind of exciting. So I've got that game, so I can actually load it. Now this GD-ROM works. I was amazed. I couldn't believe it actually worked. But it's all hooked up over SCSI to the PC to a 2940U Adaptec card. I think that's the model anyway. So here's what the back looks like. I was playing around with composite and VGA just to see which one was nicer. Turns out VGA is always nicer. Although composite does have sound, because I'm too lazy to go find a cable for sound. So we've got an active terminator here. This one runs over to the PC itself. So it must be SCSI A. Yep. Yep. Now I've lost it. SCSI A was set to 3. Over here we've got the top one runs over to the GD writer I have, and that's set to 4. So I've got an active terminator on the back there. There's the GD writer, HKT04. I have no idea if this actually can write GDRs. I do have some blank GDRs, but I don't really want to write anything to them. So there's the back of that one, and it would also be set to, I don't know what this one's set to, let's have a look. 5. And there's 2 little dip switches there that don't seem to be doing too much. Whoa. There we go. Sorry about the camera angles. But look, it actually seems to work. It's at a point where it sort of works. So let's boot it up. So first thing you do is turn on the GD writer. So I can run it without this connected, but I figure I might as well leave it connected. I think all it's good for is writing. You can't actually sort of read anything. Okay. There we go. So as a result, I'll probably end up selling the bits inside the PC and the this guy and this guy eventually. Why are you not listening to me? There we go. Look at that. Beautiful beige. And so once that's on, then you turn this one on. And you give it a little while to do its thing. bunch of lights blink. It takes about 15 seconds to boot up. Get that disk out, just in case. So at the moment I think it's hooked in over composite to this one, which is going to take its sweet time to come on. Once that's done, you can start booting up your PC. I'm running this 500 megahertz Athlon. Of course, we've got the Model M keyboard here. Oh. So that is currently booting up off whatever is on the SD card. There is no disk in there, and that light is blinking like mad. So that means it is in a certain mode. Okay, got some read activity on the disk. Now, I haven't quite got it down entirely on the PC. Oh, here's the SCSI card initializing. 2 things there, perfect. Katana and GD-M. We're running Windows 98 2nd edition, I think. Got a 32 gigabyte compact flash card in there with adapters going all over the place. I think there's an IDE adapter. It's amazing this thing runs. It's got more adapters than anything, but yeah, so that's running off. Oh, I'll show you in a second. It's interesting though, it doesn't boot past a certain point. It's probably something I've misconfigured, although this was dumped off a failing hard drive, so there's also a chance that something was corrupted before it got anywhere. So that's, it gets to that point, and then it gives us the blue screen with vertical line refresh, and then it does that, and doesn't load the intro screen, I suppose. Just the screen, the start button screen, as you would. Alright, so what do we got here? So, okay, well, let's open DA check. So it gives it a reset, it just blanks. Which is back. You can actually re-flash them here, so if Sega released a new SDK, I suppose, they could sometimes include new firmware with it. Update your firmware like that. So we've got a test button here. Just does a couple of resets. Goes to OS mode, goes to CPU mode. So OS mode essentially just loads the I'll show you in a second actually. Alright, just goes through, runs a few tests, and that light on the side should go green, which is good. Now over here I had some trouble. But then I worked out it's because my SCSI card wasn't configured quite as good as it could have been. So what it does is it essentially copies a few things over to the hard drive inside the dev kit. And there it goes. Switches to emulator. And then it's also meant to run a program off a disk, I believe, something that I meant to burn, but I don't, so it says warning, cannot test GD-ROM. The GD-ROM is working, which is very exciting for me. So anyway, when you hit exit, you can choose between CPU mode and OS mode. So OS mode is very familiar. Yes, it should be. There you go. Just that thing. So from there, I've been using GD Workshop. Now this is the SDK 10.1. I couldn't get 11 to work, and that's probably fine. So up the top here you can see that it's door opens switch GD-ROM. So what I can actually do down here, a little button switches over to emulator mode, which changes up here. From there you can open a project. So I've been messing around with this one, made up. But before I show you that, let's show you. So the hard drive in here, the actual SD card thing that I've got going, mounts as a drive itself. There it is. Fatty. Removable disk. So in there you've got the projects, and what is it? It's like a 3.6 gig, which is pretty much 4 gig, factor in conversions and whatnot. And I've got a bit on there at the moment. But so the structure of this. So I was looking at this and I was going, what on earth is all this junk? Well, there shouldn't be that many there. I've done something wrong. I think I renamed it. Maybe. Anyway, these. So D1 is disk 1. So there's one disk. Session is the S, and then track is the T. So session 1 has 2 tracks. Session 2 has 3 tracks. Which seem to not change when the session changes, but that's just the way the standards were written up, I'm sure. So inside each of these, see Windows, desktop, demos. Oh man, that is a folder nightmare. What have I done? I should probably fix that. That could be a limitation of how many things you can actually... characters and directories. I should look into that. There might be a problem with the GD Workshop not liking that. It's funny, after using XP and Mac OS for so long, I'd actually forgotten where you find the desktop on Windows 98. It's in the Windows folder. No documents and settings here. Anyway, so these are the ones I actually copied off. These are this one here. So ignore all that. That's just where I had it over here. But this is actually on the micro SD. So you can do it. Drill down. Baseball submissions. Baseball bin track 2. There's not much in there. That's just a padding file. You need apparently 4 seconds of padding, so that the GD-ROM doesn't explode or something. This is a more exciting one. The 5th one is usually where the data is, as far as I can tell. Track 4's audio. Some of these have a few things in there. Not too much that's terribly exciting. Some that have a bit more in there than nothing. Must be over here. So there's baseball, and there's a CBS image, which has pretty much the same thing. I can't actually see too much difference between the files in either. Anyway, so the point of my story here is that this track 1, track 2, 3, 4 and 5 in GD Workshop. So when you open this out, on a GD-ROM you've essentially got 2 sections. You've got a high density and a single density area. Low density, single density. So you can expand those out. And what you actually find is there's your track numbers. So what have I got in here at the moment? So you put your abstract in there, a bit of a talk about your game, how cool it is, bibliography, sources you used when putting it all together, copyright, and another padding file. I'm guessing this section would normally contain the warning if you put your disc into a CD player and you tried to listen to the songs, and then it gets angry at you and goes, you know, this is not a disc for that sort of thing. Just put in your Dreamcast. Or similar. So, track 3. Okay, so this one has, we've got a bin file. Kind of fun. CDDA. It's probably where CDDA audio goes, I would say. Digital audio. And there's where all the files are, or the majority of files. There, but that's fine. So another fun thing I discovered, this first read.bin file. So you always see that when you pop a Dreamcast game into your PC. I was like, what on earth is it? Okay, so it turns out there's a button over here, this one here, which changes it to just essentially a listing of the files. First read needs to go at the end, according to the documentation. I had it somewhere up here. Something. Didn't like that too much. So first read belongs at the end. Let me switch back to the other mode. So you can also just drag and drop things onto here. You've got to have them made up though, obviously, so... I didn't compile these myself. Don't ask me how to compile things. I'm not a programmer. This little button here is the open close. So here we get a nice log of everything that happens. So this thing over here is just sitting there. So you press close. Light flashes on the Dreamcast dev unit. Compares a whole bunch of things. And the door is closed. Now I can... let's open the door. If we go over to the actual Dreamcast, I've unplugged the controller. Whoop. If you try and play it now, it'll complain that there's no game disc. So you go back over here, you press the button, does its thing, close door. So you can actually play it from here, or you can actually do a reset using the reset button on the front of the Dreamcast dev kit. So once that's done, you just hit start on your controller. I mean A, and then it tells you to please insert the game disc. And then I'm just like, what? Please insert the game disc. The game disc is in there, Mr. Sega. And then I pause the video and try and work out what I've done. Although it has occurred to me that that's how Sega sort of wanted it to be ran, with the reset button. So maybe I've got to press that to get it to do its thing. Let's find out, shall we? So that does the get boot up, set to our NTSC at the moment. If this is right, then we should see, oh yes, activity, okay. So that's booting, visual concepts thing. Birds, silence! Thank you. Also got some parrots, some conyers. So as you can see there, it's reading and logging. So at the top, if I can get there, you can see when it changes things. WSB World Series Baseball full motion video down the bottom there. So while that's running, it's very exciting, isn't it? It's so it's all reading off there. So that has to be formatted with 32 kilobit clusters. Kilobyte clusters. Yeah, make sure it's so I've used FAT32. You can use apparently MTFS, but it wasn't to be because I don't have Windows XP in here. Or NT for that matter. So there you go, there's the baseball game. So yeah, with this one, as soon as I hit start on the controller to skip, it will skip to the blue screen and do its little glitchy thing. It's a little bit different on VGA. I can try switching it over. It's these first two dip switches here. If I flick these two up, I don't know if you should do that while it's on. We could also try changing the region. I'm pretty sure. So yes, so regions. That's actually set through a different program called Katana Utility Dev IP Maker. So in here you can sort of name everything and choose what regions you pick, and that actually outputs your these two, your high and low system loady bits. I can't remember where they go. There they are. System area file. single and high. So they go in there, which determines a bunch of things probably. I don't know, I'm not too well versed in the Dreamcast. I didn't like it because of its proprietary use of gigabyte discs. Anyway, so what I can do is, now that I've changed that, we'll try changing the region to, let's go with 9, which is PAL. So we should get a blue Dreamcast logo thing over here. Hopefully. It's on VGA now though. Ah, man. I wish I knew what I did with the remote for this thing too. I'm getting really good at using the side buttons. Ah, it started booting already. Don't do that. Reset again. So it should give a blue logo. There we go. So it's now set to PAL and VGA. So it does its thing. And the way it crashes on this is slightly different. I guess it's doing it at the same time, it's just putting video differently. Oh, I love developers that don't let you skip things. So we get to the full motion video. There's a bit of audio. Hit start and yeah, slightly different. It's more a green than a blue. So that's that. So now you're probably thinking, how do you know it's running off there instead of there? Well, the disk isn't in for starters. Let's try booting off that. So, how do you do that? All right. So when that locks up, it's sort of hard locked up, but you can just reset it over here or do whatever you want. So eject, doors open, or reset, which will then let us get back to the home screen, for the lack of a better word. So that should need no disk. Excellent. Now in here, we flick over to the GD-ROM. Switch to GD-ROM, that's done. So here's the GD-ROM. This is amazing how thick this is. It really makes you feel like you've got a piece of development hardware. Pop that in. Classic GD-ROM noises, excessively noisy. So when I hit start, it's telling me to insert the game disk. Because I've set the region to PAL. It is very much a US game, so I'm going to reset. Let that boot. Dreamcast! I wonder if the painter's coming back. I did the ceiling. Never mind. Pop your disc in. Please wait, disc is being checked. So I've got no new information in the log, but it looks like that's starting to boot. Sega logo. And if you have a look down here, it won't update at all. It's just running off the drive. Okay, that's fair. But now for comparison's sake, we'll be able to see the difference where it should have kept going, but didn't. It's quite a learning curve. I've only really had this on the bench since last... yesterday. Monday. Oh, there we go. Skip that. There's the screen that we normally see, but then it progresses onto this. Loading and loaded. Press the start button, it says. Press the start button. So yeah, that's how that works. Kind of cool. What I can do is I can switch back to the emulator. And I'm pretty sure the game gets angry. I'll load the disc back in. Door's closed. Now the game's just sitting there. If I try doing stuff, what does it do? Does it get very angry? Oh. Should read what's on the screen. Let's try a... Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. Use that. Dumps me back at the home menu. As you can see down here, though, it actually did some things. It decided to read the table of contents repeatedly. Kind of exciting. So if I eject the disk, we're essentially good to go again, I think. If I hit play... Yeah, it just loads up again. But from the hard drive this time. So that's pretty much what I've been doing, just tinkering about, sort of getting a feel for it. I'm very happy that this thing works. It was a bit of a bloody expensive buy from memory, 70 odd bucks US, but it got here, and I don't think I've got a spectacular micro SD card in there. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's one of the piece of junk ones that I just put in there temporarily. So I'll quickly just show you what it does when, I guess, I'll just make this a tour video. So in here, we've got a whole bunch of files. Let's do a nice smaller section. We'll do this section. So use your keyboard. Oh, I love using this keyboard. So you select these, not this, to delete. Otherwise you can't get it back easily. So that's mode 1. So if I go in and look at my source file, track 1, I've got these things. All you do is, it's actually quite a nice little system, just drag and drop. And adds them in. Nice and easy. You might think, what happens when you get a lot of files or a large file? Like this file is, I think it's pretty big. And we'll add it anyway. So that was disk track 5. Oh yeah, one megabyte and a half. Oh. Drag and drop. Yeah, see, it's doing it too quick. That's annoying. We'll get rid of the FMV. FMV's gone. That's got to have some decent size. Okay. Maybe not. 42 megabytes. Audio, there we go, that's a good one. Audio, yeah, let's do the audio. Delete. Must not actually be deleting it from... Try to do a save in between. I'm sure the more you use this software, the more you get used to all its quirks. It says not to edit things on the disk. It's very clear about that in the instructions, but who the hell listens to instructions? This freaking audio folder's still there. Get out of there, audio folder. Now, so when you're first making it, it takes a while. It takes about 15 odd minutes to copy everything across. This game is about 700 meg total, so that's an idea. There we go. So you get this cool little dialog box that gives you the estimated time remaining and time elapsed, and where you are overall and current. It's kind of exciting. It freezes all the time. That could be the compact flash card I'm using though, or the fact that it's a 500 megahertz Athlon. Just kidding, the Athlons are great. I'd recommend you go and buy one actually today, since I'm running my Core 2 Duo. Yeah, so that just ticks along. Takes quite some time, so while we're waiting, we can actually just do a reset. See if we can break some things. I guess for Like, there's quite a few little things in here. What else I use? I don't think I've actually played too much of this. CD Craft is for sending discs off to Sega, I think. No! Making in-house duplicates. So you don't actually need this to make duplicates of your game. So you can save yourself a bit of money by not having one of these. But you'll still need one of those. At least for GD-ROMs anyway. GD-ROMs. You know, it might not actually find a drive now that I think about it. Oh! Cry! Cry! Ooh, play a wave when finished writing. That's pretty good. Takes 7 hours to write a file at 2 speed. You forget these things because we don't even use discs anymore unless you've got a Blu-ray player, I guess. Oh, this guy's lagging a bit now. I think it's upset that I'm copying to it at the same time and it's trying to read the file. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, so anyway, I'll be popping it up on eBay in the next 6 months, so sometime before Christmas. Get yourself a Christmas gift, I guess. Reading and writing, reading and writing, writing and reading. Oh, there's the yeah, it's difficult to see. There it is, BS524S blah blah blah. So the 524 indicates that it's a set 5.24, which is great. I mean, it's not that exciting, it's not the latest and greatest. Wait, no, it is the latest and greatest. Huh. Anyway, I could talk to myself all day about this. But there you go. That's just an overview of the Dreamcast developer unit and what it can do. This is going to take 8 minutes. It's going to take 8 minutes. It's got another 5 minutes to copy 300 meg. Apparently these things only go at like 2.5 megasecond. I hope that's not megabit, actually, now that I think about it. No, that'd be... Oh, could be. Gosh, old computers are fun. So, yeah, there you go. So this... Oh, I'll just go over some other things while I'm here. Things that I've picked up and hopefully won't forget. This slide switch here. To the left is read-only flash on board. To the right makes it read and write. So you can actually flash your dev kit to be better, I guess. These switches do a bunch of things. Yeah, this is mainly regions. So first two are to do with whether you want VGA, RGB or composite. Up is VGA, down is composite, and I'm guessing one on, one off is RGB. And the next two, well, actually let's have, why not, you know? It's sort of like, why not? So let's turn this off while it's copying. Let's see what happens. You're gonna get angry? You gonna get angry? Oh. It got angry. I actually got a blue screen while installing the SCSI drivers. Quite fun stuff. I had all the hardware connected and I was like, probably shouldn't be doing this while I'm and there it was, blue screen. It was quite exciting. SCSI command, bye SCSI. SCSI. Scoozy. What was I going to do? Oh, that's right, dip switch 4. Enter. Cancel. No one cares. It's funny, I hadn't seen a blue screen in years. Anyway, okay, so this last little switch here, pretty sure is oh, I'm pretty sure, alright. Diagnostic. It's diagnostics. Man, how did I forget that word? I need to get some lunch. So it actually goes through and checks a whole bunch of things. You will get an error on an ARM check if you don't have a MIDI loopback device plugged in. So don't feel bad that that goes red. That's fine. It's normal. From memory, it takes some time to run. But that's alright. So I'm like, what else am I doing today? Not a lot. And as Ben Lee would say, that's the way I like it. So while that's running, let's see if we can look over here at anything that's happening. Nothing is happening. Oh, it did something! What happened? Oh, it went green! Oh, the 1 second I walk away and it did something. I'm really sorry, Internet. Those patterns look familiar if you've ever run a video VRAM diagnostic on a computer. I've did that for about 10 years. It would have driven me mad if I did it any longer. Tick, 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 tock. There we go. Memory read check. Read write check. Flash ROM. Oh, okay. Here we go. Flash ROM. Yay! Green. Oh, small video looking tests. See anything wrong? I sure don't. And twitching is normal. Whoa, what is that? What are those? My God. Sonics. That's a lot of swirls. Donuts. More swirls. G2 bus and direct memory access check. Come on, give us green. Green. Or a cool image spinning around. One of the two. Yeah. So this one should fail. Just expected. I don't have a loopback device. Set 5 checker version 0.1, 0.71, there we go. All done. It's got the Cylon looking thing down the bottom there, that's pretty fun. So that's about it, I think. There's not much more else to sort of talk about. So that was dip switch 4, set to the up position. Set it to the down position, I should regain control. Maybe. Or it'll just start booting up. Oh, no, it's been into the... Oh, that's not my screensaver. I wonder if there's any... Oh, there's fish! Just give me... Should probably need to restart it to get that working. Oh no, we're all good. When in doubt, open DA check and it'll give it a cycle through the various modes. And then when you hit exit, it asks you what you want to put it in. So CPU mode is pretty boring. It just gives you a black screen externally. OS mode seems to be the weapon of choice. I actually had it in CPU mode for a while until I realised, oh, that's good. It's detected problems with the project. Try closing the tray anyway. Uh-huh. Yeah, don't restart your dev kit while it's doing things. Computers. Now the copyright information's all there, so that should load, but there's something corrupted, the audio down the road, so that'll be interesting. Copied a bit of the audio. Spewing out information and working. It's all good. Alright, well thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed and learned a little bit about the beauty that is the HKT 0120. It's got a lot of capacitors on board. None look to be leaking, but that's what famous last words usually sound like, isn't it? It's got a big red button in there, I'm not going to press that. Yeah, that's good, that little thing works. Two standards power supply too, which is nice. Oh well, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed the video. I guess I hit that for a 6. McRetro, signing out. Until next time.